it's Christian from the Calcio Bros, and with another weekend done, that means it's time for another recap video. There was a lot of highlights this weekend, some interesting goals, some great plays, and we're going to just break it down of what happened this weekend in Serie. We start off on the Saturday, which was Sampdoria Torino, which finished in the 1-1 draw. Goals were scored by Torreira from Sampdoria and Aqua from Torino. Both sides trying to get the win. Didn't happen. Both teams drew. Torreira actually scored a pretty nice free kick, and if you actually notice, two guys from the Sampdoria players that were in the wall actually ducked to trick out a Sirigu. So that was an interesting play from them. Later on, Aqua was sent off through a second yellow card. Didn't help his team too much, but at least Torino managed to stay level and managed to get the point. But then again, it is another draw for Torino and not the result they wanted to go for. And Sam needed that win if they want to maintain a good race on to Inter, Roma, who are all in front of them. They want to make sure they can keep close to them while trying to distance themselves from those that are under them. But they still managed to get the point, but again, not the result that they wanted to go for. Later that day, we had Inter Crotone. Inter, I am still laughing at you because you guys are just terrible right now. 2 full months without a win. I really don't have any words. You guys brought in Spalletti and all these players. You guys started off so well, but yet you can't get anything for 2 months. No useful results. Sooner or later, you guys can get knocked out of your Champions League spot from either Roma, Sam, maybe Milan, Atalanta. There's so many other teams trying to go for your spot right now, and you're pretty much letting them have it. Inter took the lead in the first half from Adair, but in the second half, Barberis equalized for the Calabresi. When I was watching this game, I could really see Crotone were playing well, much better than Inter. Inter didn't really create a lot, and I felt Zenga's side really had the chance to take the game. They had their chance to win the game. They came close. Inter was playing without Icardi, and you could see there wasn't no threat up front, but even when he did play, they still couldn't win. But to me, this was just I felt Crotone could have won. They should have won. They played so much better, had their chances. I feel Inter got really lucky there, and they're going to probably lose their spot in the end. Because you guys, again, 2 months without a win. I don't know what the hell is wrong with you guys. You guys didn't do anything in the transfer window to really strengthen your team. So I didn't expect too much going into this game. Sunday's early morning game, which was Verona-Roma, where the Giallorossi finally got a win. They managed to get a positive result at all 3 points thanks to a goal from Under in the very first minute. And it was his first goal for the team in Serie as well. So it was good to see the youngster giving a shot and getting his chance to make his mark. If you guys haven't seen it, it's a wonderful strike outside the box. Nicolas had no chance. Well, maybe if he actually dived, he just sort of watched the ball and went onto his knees as it went in. I feel he should have had some reaction to it instead of just watching it go in. But either way, it is a good result for the Giallorossi, who managed to get back on winning ways and put pressure on Inter as well as Sampdoria, who had played the day before them. In the second half, Lorenzo Pellegrini was sent off for a reckless challenge from behind. Don't know what he was thinking. But now he could have cost his team the win with that, and I don't know why he would have thought to do that anyways, and what help it would have been to his team. Udinese and Milan finished in a 1-1 draw. Goals came from Suso and a Donnarumma own goal. Those were a little, Suso's goal. Don't get me wrong. I feel like that's probably goal of the season. Most likely. There's probably others as well, but oh my god. Oh my god. This was actually a good game going into it because of how close Milan and Udinese were in the standings. If Udinese won, they would have passed Milan. Milan, if they had won, would have gone further up just behind Sampdoria. But a point didn't work for it sort of worked, but it didn't work for either side. It was a good game, I guess. Milan started off well, created their chances. Andre Silva actually got a start since November in Serie, but he couldn't capitalize on his chances. You could see that he's lacking confidence from not playing so often, maybe playing the last 10 minutes, which shouldn't happen for a player like him, so young, who needs to play more, who needs to get these chances. Once he gets that goal, he'll start putting them in the net more often. He needs the playing time. He needs those chances. I know he does have those chances, but he needs to bury it. He needs to just get his confidence up. Calabria sent off in the second half, which you can see cost Milan their victory there and cost the team its momentum. Udinese equalized afterwards through, again, that Donnarumma own goal, which was very, very unlucky because Lasagna just tried crossing and deflected off Bonucci and then deflected off Donnarumma because it took him off guard. So that was a very unfortunate goal for Milan to have conceded, just another unlucky goal. And again, not the result both teams really needed, but they'll both take the point either way. We'll move on to the hammering of the day, the biggest result, biggest, not shock, but just a big wow that happened this weekend in Serie A. And that was Juventus' 7-0 thrashing of Sassuolo. We all knew they were probably going to win, considering how bad Sassuolo have been this season, not their usual selves. But this was just an unbelievable result. It was 4-0 by halftime. Juve don't tend to play great football. It's a little boring at times. After a while, though, the game did get boring even after all these goals. Like Juve really dominated. Sassuolo did not show up whatsoever. Buffon, I don't even think made a save. Like, wow. Like, that's not Sassuolo that we've known through these years. And Juventus just putting a goal in. 4-0 by halftime. Those goals were scored by Alexandro. Khedira had a brace. And then Pjanic with a great shot outside the box. Second half, we had a Higuain hat-trick. His first as a Juventus player. And his first since he broke the record of the Capocannoniere with Napoli back in 2016. With the win too, Juve put on pressure on Napoli before their game. Again, if they didn't win Napoli, Juventus would have remained on top. That all changed afterwards, which we'll get into shortly. We'll move on to the game for a lower table battle between Cagliari and Spal. Cagliari came away with the 3 points. Goals were scored by Cigarini and Marco Sau. 2-0 victory for the Sardo team. Joao Pedro actually had a goal disallowed for an offside position, so it could have been a different result. Cagliari got the crucial 3 points to move them farther away from the bottom three, while Spal just remains there and continue to struggle in their comeback season in Serie A. We move on to Bologna and Fiorentina. This game actually saw 2 goals scored directly from corners, one from each team, coming in the span of a few minutes. It opened up with Veretu's corner that actually hit the post and went off Mirante, so that was given as a Mirante own goal. Then a few minutes, Pulgar scores the same thing after some help from Sportiello as well. It was 1-1 at the half, with Chiesa getting the winner for La Viola in the second half. So a crucial victory for Fiorentina, who managed to get a good win after suffering a few terrible results in their last few games. Bologna, you guys continue to struggle. You guys are so on and off. It's, I don't know. Like, come on, guys. You need to get a win somewhere and manage to get on a good string of results. But no, I don't know, guys. Come on. You need a win. Last 9 a.m. game was between Atalanta and Chievo. Goal was actually scored by Mancini in the second half. He was a young defender who replaced Caldara, so it's good that they're giving him playing time. That way he can develop himself in the team, integrate everything, get used to the players, as we know Caldara will be leaving to Juventus at the end of the season. The goal was originally waved off because I believe it was thought that he handled the ball before he tapped it in, but after VAR intervened, they gave the goal, which allowed Atalanta to take the game and get the 3 points and to actually pass Milan and Udinese in the standings and just go behind Sampdoria. The Sunday afternoon game was Benevento-Napoli. Napoli again wanted to put the pressure on Juve and make sure they get back on top after the victory from the Bianconeri, which they did thanks to goals from Mertens and Hamsik. Mertens scored another chip over the goalie from the side. He just scores worldies. I can't believe the types of goals he scores. They're just unbelievable. The one thing though, they don't have any depth. Later on in the game, Mertens got injured, and we don't know if he'll be playing against Lazio. It's a mild strain, so he could be rested, but if one or two of your main players gets injured, yeah, you have your backups, but it's not like they play. It's not like Sadik always rotates. He just constantly plays the same 11. Maybe one or two changes in the mid and the defense, but the front three always remain the same because that's where they really feel a threat there. Benevento actually had a penalty given to them, but then VAR cleared it up, and it was actually ruled out because one of the players who was fouled was in an offside position, so the penalty was taken away before it was even shot. That could have put Benevento back in the game, but again, to the offside, it was disallowed, and Napoli were able to still control the game because it was after the second goal from Matic Hamšík. So to end off Serie A, we had the game on Monday between Lazio and Genoa. This was a shock as Genoa managed to steal the victory at the Stadio Olimpico and get crucial 3 points to help them in the battle in the bottom. Goals were scored from Pandev first, then shortly after Marco Parolo got his goal after a deflection, and then Laxao scoring the winner in the 92nd minute. And it was actually funny how he had a goal disallowed earlier for, I believe it was a foul in the build-up. So he managed to get his goal to cement Genoa's victory there and really help it out. Lazio lost there and couldn't distance themselves more from Inter and Samp. Genoa did get the victory, did get a crucial 3 points, and beat one of the top teams in the league. With all the matches done, we're going to take a look at the standings. First off, the top half of the table, not many changes. The one big one is Atalanta moving ahead of Milan, Udinese, going right behind Sampdoria. You know, the top two, top four don't really change as much, but Atalanta putting themselves closer to Samp and close to that other automatic European spot for the Europa League. But it is still close. Only 8 points separate Lazio from Sampdoria, so anything can happen in the next few games, especially considering who the teams will be playing in the next few weeks. It will be an interesting way to see how the standings will change in the top half because they're always changing. We also know, as we can see, if Milan had got the win, still been ahead of Atalanta and just been 1 point behind Sampdoria. That could have helped them there and maybe get closer to their European spot, maybe even the fourth spot, like I was saying before. It'll be tough for them. They just need to maintain positive results and get victories in the important games as well. We'll take a look at the bottom half of the standings. Genoa, with their victory, pushed themselves up. Crotone not too far from the bottom three, only 3 points ahead of Spal. And as we even see, Chievo and Sassuolo are only 5 points, so not much there. If Spal can get some victories, they can maybe push up and get someone else in the bottom three because, you know, they want to avoid it. Verona's still stuck there. And again, Benevento, who did have those 2 victories, but we don't think they'll probably stay up. They're going to probably keep losing, and they will probably be the first team to officially get relegated in the next few weeks. It depends again on the mathematical standpoint, on again also how the other. So with that done, we're going to take a look at round 24. We also have Champions League, Europa League coming up, so there are going to be some teams playing on Fridays, which is going to be Fiorentina Juve on February 9th, 2:45. That's going to be an interesting one. You know, Viola always gives some trouble to the Bianconeri, but in this instance, I feel Juve will be too strong. Fiorentina have been struggling this season, not their usual selves too. So I feel it'll be a good game between these two sides, and a crucial victory would be important for Fiorentina, but I'm not sure if they'll come away with it. Juve have a lot of injuries to deal with before going into their match. I feel that they'll maybe sneak away a win some way or another. We'll wait and find out. Now, all Europa League teams are going to be playing on Saturday. So we're going to have Spal Milan at 9, Crotone Atalanta at 12, and the big one is Napoli Lazio. So Napoli again also in Europa League, so they're going to be playing on the Saturday as well at 2:45. Biggest game there, I would say, is again Napoli Lazio, because if Lazio can hold Napoli and Juventus win, then that means Napoli could lose their first spot, and especially with Mertens out, it could be a little bit trouble for them. And then Lazio want to maintain pressure against Inter, Samp. Don't forget Roma as well. We can't forget them. They're city rivals. They want to keep that third spot locked in, so they'll need to be looking for a victory here. 6:30 on Sunday, we have a battle in the lower end of the table. Another one, Sassuolo, Cagliari. Both teams want to get points. No matter who it is, they just want to get the victory. Cagliari have been good of late against these lower end teams. Sassuolo just been struggling all around. Berardi is their best player, but he doesn't seem to be it this year. You know, we have other wingers coming in like Politano who have been performing well. We haven't seen the best Domenico Berardi that we have seen in recent years. So I don't know what Iachini can do to change his team and help, get them out of that. Sassuolo have been a top 10 team as of the last few years, but right now they're not showing it. So they want to get that victory to push themselves up once again. We have 4 9 a.m. games on the Sunday. We have Chievo Genoa, Inter Bologna, Sampdoria Verona, and Torino Udinese. So some interesting games there for sure. And I would say maybe the Torino Udinese one, considering those teams are close, and Udinese have been really good ever since Odo took over. So I feel it's also going to be an interesting game because, Torino don't want to get another draw. They have the most right now. They want to get a victory. And with Udinese's good run of form, they can probably make it a tough challenge for Torino not to pull away with a victory. I feel maybe it'll end in a draw. But overall, I feel it will be a good game for sure. Inter playing Bologna, trying to get out of their crappy run of form. I don't know, Bologna have been on and off. They can't really maintain a good positive run of form. I feel maybe this is where Inter could break their bad run, but who knows? Bologna could be playing like the best team in the world against Inter and manage to get a positive result from them and continue the downward spiral that is for the Nerazzurri. So to end off round 24, we have Roma Benevento. So I feel the Giallorossi will pull away with a victory here, and that Benevento will continue to struggle unless they manage to pull a victory away from home. But they haven't done so at all this season. They've only gotten the 2 wins and the draw all at home. Probably playing away, not going to be the best. So it will probably be a good victory for the Giallorossi. So before I end off this video, I want to go on to the goal and player of the weekend for round 23. Goal for me would be Suso from Milan with a wonder strike outside the box, going bar down. You don't see anything better than that. Player of the weekend for me goes to Gonzalo Higuain, who managed to get his first hat-trick again for the Bianconeri. And just to continue his run, he's starting to score again and pick it up. So it's good to see that he's able to maintain his form and see that he is the $96 million man that they paid him to be. So guys, if you agree with my choices, comment below or tweet out to us. You can follow us on Twitter, Calcio_bros, and follow us on YouTube for more Calcio content. Hear from you guys soon. Ciao.